This fucking club, man. This fucking club. What does it do to you? How does it make you feel? I mean, look at all our fans. We seem all calm and collected right now. We're an absolute mess inside. Abby, can you go on mute, please? Your computer's going off, please. We need to talk about even the computer. We need to talk about this club, man. I mean, this club, cup competitions, night games, comebacks. Whoo! Deep breath. Welcome to GrizzCon TV, people. Those of you who've been waiting, so sorry we kept you waiting, but we had a small matter of penalty shootout to get out of our system. We had a small matter of a comeback to get out of our system. Liverpool 3, Leicester City 3 was the full-time score in the Carabao quarter-final. We then went on to penalties and beat them on penalties. To discuss it with me, I have Mr. Evan and Mr. Keith. We have Ohms joining us as well, but until Ohms, we had Avi, but Avi's smoldering. Yeah, Avi's always smoldering or doing whatever he's doing. We've got Ohms coming up in the chat, but people, I'm going to go to Keith first because he wasn't here for the pre-match. Me and Evan discussed it to a fair degree yesterday. My man Keith, talk me through this football club and nights like these. Like, why? What happens?
You know what? Today, give it to the fans. Honestly, all you lot that went out there today at Anfield, I respect every single one of you guys that went there tonight. In the backdrop of all the madness that's been going on in the world, to go out there knowing that you're not going to see Salah or Mane, knowing you're not going to see the big dogs, but the voice that they gave those players, even when we went 3-1 down, was unbelievable. And the 12th man really played the biggest part in the entire show tonight. But what a spectacle. I was planning on watching this on Twitter. It was only the fact that I said, yeah, I'm coming on today, so I need to make sure, you know how we get on, we make sure we come through with the right analysis, that I made sure I watched this game. Otherwise, I would have been in bed watching this Twitter. Thank God I didn't.
My God. Thank God you didn't. You would have missed a masterpiece of a game, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, we're absolutely fucking buzzing that we won. But it was actually a fantastic game. And Evan, we dressed it up last night in the pre-match, didn't we? We actually managed to hype it up and make it like it's going to be a cracking game. And like at the start, we were no injuries. A few kids are going to play. Let's just hope everything's calm and we get through. But no injuries, just no injuries. Talk to me, bro.
Well, I mean, to our credit, Grizz, I think the only thing we failed to mention was Billy Kometio's name. I'm pretty sure we mentioned every other thing that happened tonight. I'm pretty sure we covered that or said it was a likely possibility. We predicted a lot of goals. We predicted Liverpool looking disjointed at times. We predicted maybe some big guns coming on in the second half. I mean, we really covered it. We even covered the topic of penalties. I mean, so credit to us, right? We got a bit of a crystal ball. But yeah, I went on record saying, my capacity to care about the Carabao Cup is at times stretched. But listen, at the end of the day, I'm watching football to be entertained, and I can't have any complaints about what I just saw.
This is it, Ohms. This is it, right? This is the comment. Every time I'm out, these Reds pull us back in. I mean, Omar, is this how you felt? Talk me through your emotions overriding without going into the incidents that stand out. Just your override feeling before we get into it all.
I think about 5 minutes into that game, I was thinking back to the 5-5 versus Arsenal.
I
just had that in my head the whole time. I was like, it just feels like one of those games. And look, Minamino turned up like a Origi then, and man, and as soon as it went to pens, I was like, we're not losing here. I'm happy, man. I want to win this now. I'm fully invested in the League Cup now.
Absolutely no doubt about it. I mean, this is okay. We have breaking news via Mustafa. What? Confirmed draw: Arsenal versus Liverpool, Chelsea versus Tottenham. Yes. Instant reaction. Evan, go to you first. Instant reaction to that draw. How do you feel?
Arsenal, get ready because it's not going to be pretty for y'all. It's not going to be pretty.
So is this what you would have wanted?
Yes, absolutely.
Keith?
Oh man, I'm so happy it's Arsenal. I'm so happy it's Arsenal. For a million, Grizz, being from London yourself, I'm sure this one is a lot more closer to home, right? You got so many Gooner friends, right, Omar, as well. I literally just messaged my mate right now. I was just like, yes, he's quaking.
Be ready.
Be ready. Arsenal play the football we love.
More breaking news, Omar. Second leg at home.
You ain't beating Liverpool in a second leg at home. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, I'm being a Londoner as well. My dad's a Gooner as well, so yeah.
This is gonna be fun, Omar. This is gonna be fun in your household, bro. We need live vlog. We need a live vlog for your
split. My household is split. Yeah,
we're gonna have to have a live feed from your house, man. When that game is on.
Absolutely.
When is this game, guys? Because I'm all over the place. Someone needs to tell us in the chat when is this game, or unless one of you guys know. I know,
like 2 or 3 weeks from now, because isn't the finals like really early, right? It's like
February.
Yeah, so it's got to be within the next month at the very least.
Okay. But listen, guys, before we get into the semi-final stage, first week in Jan, Zed Malik's come through again. First week in Jan. Okay, so it's not even far at all, literally. Okay. Deep breath, and we get into it. Evan, the team lineup comes out, and I did give a slight hint into the possible situation of Neco Williams playing at right wing and Bradley Corner playing at right back. What no one envisaged, as you said earlier, what no one anticipated, what no one expected was the sudden introduction out of the total blue of Billy, literally the kid, Kometio. Thoughts on that lineup when you saw it? Did you think, I didn't care about this game too much, and now it's less of a thing for me? I'll just watch it because I support Liverpool and I'll always support them. How did you feel when you read that lineup? And then you read Leicester City's lineup and it's full whack, like we anticipated also.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we covered nearly every single outcome and scenario and possible lineup. With the exception of Billy the Kid, who, let's be honest, he's the biggest looking kid I've ever seen. Like, he's absolutely humongous, but he played like a kid today. I mean, I thought he looked pretty far below the standard. And again, not piling the hate on him. He's got a lot to learn in the game. He's still a teenager. I think we forget that. But yeah, him and Bradley, I thought, looked a bit shaky today, and that was sort of my reaction to seeing them in the lineup, because I would have considered those two players to be our biggest weaknesses today, and I think we sort of saw that in the first half. But yeah, when the lineup was announced, it did little to sort of sway my pre-match, just watching for some entertainment sort of mentality I have. Sorry.
Nah, that's cool, man. We know how it works. Look, the whole point of afterwards is being as honest as you can and giving out the emotion and how you felt. Because there's no point being fake and saying, oh, I knew this was going to happen. Oh, I really cared. Keith, I know for a fact, rain, shine, sun, snow, anything happen, I know you think we're going to smash whoever we're playing. Whoever's playing, whoever's wearing the red, whoever the opposition is. Did you really feel like that when you read the lineup this time round? Be honest, brother.
No way. Absolutely no way. No, literally, I saw it and I said to I saw the Leicester lineup. I was like, all right, it's going to be one of those type of games. On the Red Fellas, I did say that this was a cup competition that I actually wanted us to go for. I actually wanted us to take it seriously. And I felt up until this game, we had been selecting sides that were very competitive. You know what I mean? It was like Konate, Gomez, centre-back, Neco Williams, left-back, Shimikas, kind of made his name on the League Cup stage. You had Origi, Minamino, who was playing Ox. He was playing some strong squad B. Obviously, with COVID and everything that happened and the injuries and stuff, I kind of expected it, but I think he got it very, very wrong. But I'll stop at that point.
That's absolutely fair enough, man. I don't think the most ardent of Klopp supporters, Omar, would disagree with that. Look, he's our king. Klopp is king. Will forever remain
100%.
king.
100%.
Ain't no one No one better than Klopp in world football that I would want to manage our team. But I think it's fair to say he did get it wrong in that lineup. Holmes, how did you feel?
Yeah, it wasn't a starting lineup that's gonna win the game against a full-on Leicester team. But
do you think he didn't anticipate Leicester being so strong? Maybe
I think that was what was in my head, because because he wants to win. Those 3 subs at half-time suggested to me that he wanted to win this competition, because he could have left Kemetio on and given him an extra half of experience. He could have left the youngsters on, but Klopp was like, "No, we want to win." So I think he did sort of second guess them, but it's hard because we have the tight fixture list ahead, and Klopp's thinking ahead to the games, the 3 big Prem games we have coming up in the next week. So it's almost impossible to balance, I think, especially with the COVID situation as well. A couple injuries here and there. Because like if Origi's not injured, he starts. He probably makes a big difference. Players like that on the fringe. So look, I'm just happy we won.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock, man, by what we saw. But I sort of felt the situation meant Klopp had to play that team, and maybe I would have played everyone. Maybe Kemetio was probably the wrong one, but he's only a kid, man. Like he's young. I think he's younger than me, and I'm young, so. Like,
but this is it. You make some good points about the squad and the state of the squad, and Rames agrees. Like, how many times have we said, Evan, this would have been the perfect game to throw in a Phillips and Gomez partnership that knows each other far more. Yeah. And not only that, do you remember we spoke about why Alisson played in another game, and we said, why didn't Kelleher play? And we said because he didn't want to change the whole back 5. This time he literally had to change the whole back 5, right? And it showed.
It absolutely showed. Gomez 100% looks like a guy who hadn't kicked the ball in months. I think it might have actually literally been months since I've last seen him play. And I think, obviously we know Klopp's mentality around team selection with the Carabao Cup, even at full strength. So we know there's that. But we wouldn't have seen Kemetio if Van Dijk didn't have COVID, or Phillips didn't have like a cheekbone injury or whatever he has. Like, it took 2 really unfortunate and kind of unforeseen circumstances for him to get a start today. So yeah, it's, I saw some people having a go at the team selection, saying it's too weak. Our hand is forced a bit in certain positions, but yeah, it's tough being thrown in like that. And we've seen, like you said, Grizz, what too much change can look like in terms of chemistry. And there were some times in that first half where Kemetio didn't know where to stand in accordance to where Gomez was standing, and just little things like that.
Yeah, look, whatever team he picked, it would have been difficult. We would have found holes or reasons to criticize, probably. It's just a way. It's just the nature of the beast and the game, isn't it? At this stage, as Omar said, it's a balancing act. You got 2 games in 3 days coming up. You have to factor that they are absolute priority. But Keith, we were so close that we almost kind of wanted a semi-strong team, and it was. Look, the three main areas that we're looking at is Connor Bradley and Neco Williams and the Billy Kemetio. And I think most would agree that even if there was one of those different, like one senior player in of those 3 positions, I think it would have made the difference. And so the substitution showed, right? We could have done with one more heavy hitter, big boy, whatever you want to call it.
I think my disappointment was the centre back pairing.
Yeah.
Because for me, Klopp has built Konate and Gomez throughout this competition, right? And he's built it as a kind of a second choice centre back partnership.
Yeah.
And to put Gomez in that situation in the state he's in.
Good point.
And obviously Billy is not ready for this type of level. Then you've got Connor Bradley, and then everyone's playing in front of Tyler Morton, right? So that all of a sudden that spine, and we made the point before that Alisson was put in goal before, and not Kelleher as more of a senior when there's been changes in the middle.
Exactly.
I think that was the point we spoke that about, right? But in this situation, Klopp kind of threw that out the window and also put Kelleher in goal, who also had issues in terms of when to come out, when to rush out, when to play as that sweeper centre back, because there was just no communication in the centre of in the middle of the park in that first half. So that's why, like, I get the kind of like the reasoning and the issues that happen, but the reality is, I think there was players that should have played that needed the games in their legs more than anything else, because a lot of them haven't played football, and a lot of them are not necessarily first team stars. Even the people that came onto the pitch are not guaranteed first team stars.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Literally, Liverpool B beat Leicester A.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
I mean,
Before we go on, AFC Max was an Arsenal fan. Big up yourself with the super chat, and he's a regular in our chat. He's a regular in the Big Six chat as well. He says, "Hey Grizz, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, very tasty semi-finals. Prepare for war at the Emirates." And I was rooting for LFC today. Nice one. Don't worry, we stopped Spurs in the final. Yeah, I don't think we'll let you get to the final, my brother. But big up yourself, and thank you for the super chat. The start of the game was probably as we expected, right? Because when you have that many changes, especially down the spine of your team, there's going to be a few passes going astray. The understanding is not going to be there. And it looked like Vardy and Daka were going to have a field day, right?
Oh, that I think it was the Gomez pass in like the first couple minutes where
Literally,
Daka
wasn't
just
it?
took it, and I was like, it could be a long day here. And to be honest, like you're bang on with the chemistry. We just gave them 2 goals. We just gave them a 2-goal head start, and you can't really blame the players. Well, like it's harsh because that's a completely brand new back four. Gomez has been out for however long. These things happen, but it just built like that mentality monster, not just from the senior pros.
Absolutely.
The youngsters, they've got a taste of that now. That's gonna do them so
Great
well.
point.
That's
Great
gonna
point.
do them like Neco Williams. He's been in the 5-5. He's been in the 3-3. Players like that, they build on that, and
Great
it's just gonna make them better players.
That's exactly one of the things we said. That I done a quick space before the game, and I said, look, it's not only the youngsters that are going to get experience of game time and sort of the atmosphere, Evan. Like, yeah, that comes with being part of a Liverpool player, right? That's standard. You have to be part of the atmosphere. You have to know where you're at, but also playing against the caliber of players some of them were playing at. So Neco Williams was, up against a Premier League proven player. Gomez and Billy Cometio, Daka and Vardy up against them. Yeah, who was the guy on the left? Gave Connor Bradley a tough game.
Yeah.
These guys, Tillemans, against Morton, you're going to be up against big boys, and then you need to toughen up. This is the only way you're going to toughen up. I know some people are saying it was harsh, to be thrown in there, but hey, you've got to be, if you can't. You can't be go thrown in the lion's den, and you got to face up to it, right?
Every great player has had a baptism of fire or 3. You know what I mean? Development and experience. It's not all sunshine and roses. You know what I mean? Like you have to suffer. I mean, some of my first memories of watching football is watching Steven Gerrard get absolutely outclassed in midfield by players stronger, mature, more experienced than him when he was like 19, 20 years old. So for everyone, no matter your level, you're going to have games like that. And someone else already pointed out in the chat, it's not always easy. Like we like to think of development for Wonder Kids as this very linear, consistent upwards trajectory, when in fact it looks more like a jagged line. And the only thing that keeps you from not developing is, like you said, Grizz, your own mentality. So you have to toughen up. You have to, what was it Antonio Conte said a couple years ago at Chelsea? We have to be prepared to suffer. And I know he gets a lot of stick for saying that, and Chelsea fans hold that against him. But I think he's spot on. Sometimes in football, you have to be prepared to suffer. And as tough as that is, I have a ton of faith in the current coaching staff and the people who run development at the club. I think whether this crop of young players makes it at the highest level, I'm not quite sure. I guess only time will tell. But one thing I'm not worried about is their commitment level and their mentality, because I don't know how you make it under Klopp without the correct mentality.
You're absolutely spot on. And Fru says, Keith, and I know you made a big thing about it, this crowd, because cannot lie, the Anfield crowd had me believing we were in the game till the end. What an atmosphere at Anfield today. And you referenced that, just amazing. And that's exactly what Evan says. Like, it's not only the players' mentality that has to be tough and stay in there. It's this fucking crowd that people doubt. How some other clubs' fans doubt this crowd and this will and desire from the match-going fans to keep going, because it was a tough watch at times in that first half, right, brother? Like, let's be real. It was, you're on mute already, fucking bingo. 20 minutes.
Hey,
yeah, do you know what I mean? Fuck's sake.
Hey, did anyone get their bingo right?
Now we can. Don't style it. You was on mute. Yeah, so, but listen, that crowd, because I felt that crowd as well. I didn't go today, but I felt it, and I felt that they're staying with the kids, even though we're making a couple of mistakes. The atmosphere didn't die down, and nor did their spirit as a result.
Not at all. And just on the topic of rival fans, at this point, they're starving. They're feeding crumbs when they talk about the atmosphere. It's the last thing that they can hold against Liverpool, and it still doesn't hold much weight. You could feel the energy within the first. And you know what? As fans, it was a free pass tonight. I don't think any of us were under pressure tonight, if that made sense. You know, it was one of those ones where everyone's admitted, like, wasn't really believing that we were going to go through or do this, that, and the other. And so everyone had that free pass. So it was a game that you could actually really get behind. Let's just win a football match. Let's not lose this at Anfield, right? And that's what I felt the crowd really did tonight. They just said, we're not going to lose this at Anfield. And one of Evan touched a great point in terms of what the players will learn. And what they will learn today is that Premier League transition is a fucking wow. Jesus Christ. The minute, because both goals come from situations, and just generally, most of Leicester's chances came from situations where we would we'd play a blind pass or dilly-dally on the ball, or just take that little bit extra, and we're playing against a team who should be fighting for top 6, who are massively underachieving the season. Let's not get it twisted. Tielemans, Maddison, Vardy, Daka, you know, you're talking about big players who should be at that level, and they punish you. And they that was the biggest lesson that they could learn, is that Premier League football is what's the word that I would say? It's unrelenting. It also shows you no mercy. One blind pass in your own half.
And that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. One blind pass, 2 blind passes, Holmes. I come to you. Everybody wants to talk about Keita, Jota. We're going to get into all of them. Relax. There's so much to get into. Taki, there's so much to get into. But
Owen Beck, when he came on.
We're gonna, yeah. I mean, look, if I forget anything, just remind me, guys. Because, you know what I mean? I don't know what happened that game. It's just a blur. Like, how the fuck did that all happen? But Dean says, and I agree with him, because I was adamant that this should have been the situation at Spurs as well. Midfield should have played against Spurs. That's the midfield that should have played against Spurs. I know hindsight 2020 and everything. Milner, Deeps, excuse me, settled it down. I know we've discussed the centre-backs, Holmes, in the first half. I thought the midfield was a bit open again. It was almost like basketball, wasn't it, in that first half?
Yeah, it was. It was. It's hard on Morton, because you can tell he's a ball player and he wants to get on the ball and dictate. But when it is being pumped relentlessly long up the field, to whether it's Kane and Son or Daka and Vardy, like, that's where you need your Fabinhos, your Van Dijks, and
physical. You need your physicality.
Yeah. You need your big egos and your spine, like your boys that are going to rough it up as well in there. So it's hard. I'd have potentially played Henderson there just to deal with that. But equally,
I was surprised as well with that. You know that I was surprised that Henderson wasn't asked to sit, especially with 2 new centre backs.
Yeah, and it's the new right back as well, because Henderson has great Henderson and Trent and Salah down that side.
It's telepathic.
Yeah, it's telepathic. But when Henderson's there with Williams and Bradley, it's not the same. So say Henderson, because we know Henderson does like to go on the overlap nowadays, which is fine. But normally Trent's there in that covering position. Salah's infield. There were times where they were all sort of caught a bit too wide, which happens, I guess, with the chemistry, the lack of chemistry, whatever you want to say. But yeah, no, I would have had Henderson in the 6, but I think the Milner in the deep role as well. I think the second half midfield was what we started the season with at Norwich, wasn't it? The Milner,
absolutely. And we're going to get onto those.
Yeah.
We're going to get onto those substitutions. Look, we've got Arsenal fans, we've got Chelsea fans. They want to know what insight we're going to give them for the semi-final and finals, guys. Just all we're saying is you don't want to be facing us right now, man. And second leg at Anfield, whew, Chelsea better get there first. But big up the brother who's in the chat, Nippon. So look, the first goal, bam, we've got so many goals to go through, so we're going to have to whiz through them. I slightly thought Kelleher was positionally to one side. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm harsh. Maybe I've bigged up Kelleher too much, so I'm not going to go too harsh. But Vardy, we spoke about the Mercurial Vardy in the pre-match, didn't we? He's just deadly, right?
Yeah, it's the last player on the pitch you want to give a chance like that to. Listen, you said, is Kelleher at fault? Listen, I'm gonna let him be the judge of that, because speaking from experience, anytime a goalkeeper gets a hand to a ball, 99% of the time they think they should have saved it. That is the mentality of every goalkeeper I've ever talked to. So Kelleher, I think, will be going to bed tonight, hopefully thinking about how he won us the match, but also thinking about how maybe he could have put a stronger hand on that shot. And listen, Kelleher today, he's so much a goalkeeper of the last 10 years, and that he's a byproduct of this renaissance in goalkeeping of being great with your feet. You can see that, maybe I would back someone like Alisson or a more senior goalkeeper to save that Vardy shot, because positionally that experience you talked about, Grizz, like maybe they could have done better there. But one thing I absolutely back Kelleher to do is everything he needs to do with his feet. And I think he's a thoroughly modern keeper, and we're lucky to have him as number 2.
I think you're spot on. I went to see him in a League Cup game at Milton Keynes, MK Dons. Made his debut there. And I genuinely thought, guys, we've got a fantastic young keeper here. And you know what? The first thing that stood out about him was his calmness. And I believe all the great keepers bring a calmness and aura. An aura of calmness around the team and especially the defense, and he has that. He's so cool, guys. He's so cold. I knew he's going to turn up for the penalty shootout, because as soon as he went to penalty shootouts, I tweeted, I don't think, because I said it and I mean it, I don't think he had the best of games. Like the first one and the third one, he possibly could have done better, but I knew the mentality and the calmness of this kid, and he's a kid as well, guys. I knew he's going to pull through. They get an early goal, and then the transition that you talk about, Keith. Wow, it's lightning, isn't it? When you got Vardy and Daka and that young kid, we spoke about him. The guy told us, Evan, what was his name?
Dewsbury Hall.
Dewsbury Hall. We pointed him out again. We had our crystal ball out and we pointed him out. And shout out to Dini. He told us about the left back as well. That player, from Leicester as well. That transition was lightning. Again, more our mistakes than they sliced us open again, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We try and play, I think it's initially Neco Williams who's at fault in the corner, and literally within 3 passes, Vardy's literally tucked in behind Kumite. Kumite is completely out of position, like he's completely lost. And, it's stuff like that where, when we talk about the importance of a Van Dijk, it's for exactly situations like that, because for a lot of the times in situations like that, Van Dijk will read the pressure, or Van Dijk and Matip will know to step up to catch Vardy offside. That's the kind of tennis that we usually play with Leicester when our first team's playing. When you don't have that, Vardy will run on the edge of the offside forever. And the man's 34. I wonder if he's like part Jamaican or something, because this guy has just still got his speed, isn't it? For all this time, yeah, he's still got that speed, and he's just lightning quick. And it was a great finish. And Kelleher, what I really like about him is when you talk about calmness, stuff like when corners come in or when shots come in, never parries it, glues to him, sticks to him. Everything sticks to him. He was very unfortunate, but his feet was wrong. He just stepped too much to the right.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
It's one of them ones where Evan's spot on. The fact that he got his hand to it knows that he could have probably saved that a little bit better. But I think to be able to step in as second choice goalkeeper,
it's hard.
One of the best.
Again, it's hard. You're playing second fiddle to the best keeper in the world. Again,
Yeah, Grizz, this is the paradox of having a great number 2, because if you have a great number 2, you might be thinking to yourself, oh shit, how long can we keep him as our number 2 before a club might be thinking, hey, you could have the number 1 job here. So that's always my fear. You know?
Well, interesting point, because earlier when you were saying about how these kids could learn from this, but Kelleher is starting to make a name for himself in this competition. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's starting to have a little bit of a reputation. So it'll be interesting to see how far this reputation is going to get him long term, because you're right. I don't know how long we could keep him for if he carries on like this.
Martinez did it. Martinez did it at Arsenal when he stepped in, won them the FA Cup, and now look, he's Argentina's number 1, one of the best keepers in the league. So
could Kelleher get us to that?
I don't think it's unlikely, Grizz, and I think it's great that you point out Martinez, because unlike other positions, goalkeepers, their development curve is entirely different. We've seen goalkeepers like Martinez as a number 2 get their big move when they're 27.
Spot on.
Whereas like they become first team players much later on in their career, because there's a shortage of goalkeepers at any given time. So yeah, it's Kelleher's got to know that there's no rush for him in his career.
Dean's asking the best question, but we're going to save that for the right till the end, because there's some hard questions. We ain't answering that yet.
I don't want to answer that yet.
You got to stick around for that answer. And listen, people, there's 250 of you in here. You need to smash that like button. Please smash that like button. It helps with my algorithms. I've only recently started this channel. I'm trying to grow it. Help the brother out. Go and smash the like button. It's free, it's easy, and you're here for a reason, because you like listening to these guys. Not me, all right, but these guys. So smash it for them. If you don't smash it for me.
10K before the end of the week, yeah.
Yeah, man, inshallah. But Ohms, 2-0, and you're thinking, oh boy, I can't remember your tweets. I'm not going to go hunting for your tweets in case you was a bit down.
I didn't tweet that much.
Oh, you didn't tweet? Okay, so you was calm, because I didn't tweet at all. I was calm. I was okay. You know, I wasn't going through mad emotions at this stage. My first eruption came with our first goal, because it was just the way that we developed the move. It was high energy. Bobby gets involved. Whenever we play well, we want Bobby to be involved, and Bobby usually is involved when we play well. He lays the ball off, and the best man it could have fallen to. We always say this, you know. So many questions are asked of this guy, time and time again. Can he come back from the dead? Can he have an impact on our season? Can he have an impact on this team? Oxlade-Chamberlain had a fantastic game, but he smashes that one in. Talk to me. Did you feel anything at that stage?
Goes back to my original point. I was thinking 5-5 Arsenal.
This was it, yeah? This is where you started thinking, okay.
I was thinking, because I remember Ox scored a screamer in that game as well, and I was thinking... It's weird, because I was thinking, even if they get the third, like, I still back us. It was different at 3-2.
Okay.
It was different at 3-2. I was thinking at 3-2, if they get the fourth, then it's game done. But
yeah,
it's like it was the game descended into chaos, and it's Klopp ball. When like our identity at times under Klopp has been, when games descend into chaos, we thrive, and it's exactly what happened. And Ox is like, he's a bit of a throwback, man. Like I love him. I love him in the squad. He plays with a smile on his face. He's all action in the midfield. Like I don't know.
He's actually the epitome, isn't he, of Klopp football?
Yeah.
Of what we know of Klopp football, what we knew of Klopp football. He's actually, how Klopp describes him is how Klopp likes his football to be played at times, doesn't he?
Yeah, because he makes some wrong decisions. He had a shot from 30 yards in like the last minute. Exactly. But the thing about Ox is he tries and tries and tries again. He'll get stuck in. He'll do everything. He'll work hard defensively. He'll go forward. He'll get his shots off. He's got personality, which I love in a player, especially in the midfielder. Someone when you're 2-0 down, you have someone who can stick their chest out and just say, "I'm going to take over the game here." And it's what he did. So I love Ox, man, and like I just pray he stays fit, because he's going to be so important for the whole season. He's not going to play every game. He's not probably in our best starting 11, but he's going to be so important in the cup competitions, in the games we need to rotate in.
Spot on. Yeah, look, I've said it for many a season now. It's coming up to third season. Do you remember, guys, we've discussed about Ox and Naby being our X factors. Like, literally, we don't know. We literally don't even know after 3-4 seasons what they can bring to us, because as a combination, Evan, both of them haven't contributed enough to the desired levels. But it's, you know, we're seeing evidence of the talent they possess and of the dynamism they both have. We're going to obviously come on to Naby in the second half. Ox gets that second goal, 2-1. We're pumping. The blood's going through our body again, and then we try to play a ball again. A young lad, you know, from fullback. He's grown up probably watching Trent. He's that young, and Trent's a kid, so he's been watching Trent whip those passes down the thing. So he wants to play like Trent.
Yeah,
you can't really blame too much on him. There's still a lot to be done for the rest of the team, including Maddison, Keeper, Morton. Talk me through that.
Yeah. On the Ox thing, first of all, you know, he's such a rhythm player, and look how good he can be when he's not getting little knocks and long-term injuries that disrupt his rhythm and his confidence. He looks like a confident player. He looks physically sharp. Yeah, you know, I think what Bradley and Neco's first half speaks to the most is how difficult it is to do what that triangle does, that triangle that we always talk about of Trent, Salah, and Henderson, retaining the ball, moving it quickly, always knowing where the next guy is going to be. Because in that first half, every time the ball made its way out to Bradley and Williams, 90% of the time we lost the ball.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do with it. They didn't pass it to each other well, this, that, and the other. It was just all around unconvincing and sloppy. So when sometimes people want us to move the ball a little faster, they don't like it when we pass it backwards. It's an achievement to pass it backwards and keep the ball, to recycle possession, putting yourself in a position where you can always recycle possession. Don't ever take that for granted. So yeah, and I already talked about on a bit of a baptism of fire for some of these young guys. You know, Bradley, you know, deer in the headlights a bit out there. You know, it's unfortunate for him. Development is not a linear straight line. You got to suffer sometimes. Yeah. But that obviously improves in the second half, and I'm sure we'll get to that.
Again, your opinion on the goal then for the Maddison.
On Maddison's goal, listen, sometimes you hit them and they stay hit. You know what I mean? I've seen some people in the comments and on Twitter saying Kelleher should do better. Listen, every single goalkeeper of every level has had a goal like that scored upon them, where it's just the nicest ball Maddison will ever strike. It's swerving all over the air, dips in just underneath the bar. In my opinion, it's absolutely unsavable. I don't care if you had 5 Manuel Neuers. That ball's not being saved.
Keith, Dean's killing it with the comments today. He says you realize how special Harvey is when you see the other kids coming, because it is a baptism on fire. And we thought the same for Harvey Elliott at the start of the season, didn't we? We said, whoa, how's Klopp suddenly putting him in this 8 against the likes of Burnley, Chelsea, you know what I mean? Physical teams, strong teams. It shows you we've got a special kid on our hands in Harvey Elliott as well, very quickly, doesn't it?
I mean, lucky for Harvey Elliott, he was able to play with the big dogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was able to fit into a position that was tailor-made for him. But where the real praise comes to Harvey Elliott is what he does on the training pitch to convince Klopp that he deserves to be with the big dogs. So shout out to Harvey for that one.
Yeah.
And just to continue, to kind of round off the first half, really, I was so surprised that Leicester could not control this game, despite all the way the team was. The fact that, you know, they did counter-attack us several times. Vardy got through. Players got through several times. I still found it a very open game. I still felt there was chances to be made. I felt sometimes it was maybe the last pass. We had about 5-6 corners in that game, didn't quite hit the mark. Like, it was a game that you felt that we were still in, which absolutely baffled me when you look at the 11 that played against us. You look at the likes of Tillman. I thought Tillman was going to run that midfield completely. And Leicester wanted to, as you said, turn it into chaos. And, you know, the first half, they could probably be justified to have done so. But to not have a control in the game when you're playing against those the team that we put out, which was the C team almost, led me to believe that if Klopp goes into halftime and makes the substitutions that with the team that you should have started with, it's going to be a different ball game.
You know what? It's so true. It's so true. Look, we've got Arsenal fans in the chat again saying, Liverpool, I don't hate. Please be gentle to us. You know, we think about it. We'll see. But I don't think we're in the mood to be too gentle to anyone after that, guys. There was another comment that I really liked here. My God, Hassan. Shout out to Hassan, who's a regular in our chat as well. You didn't watch the game. My God, kiddo. But Red Curtain,
Missed out, man.
You missed out, brother. Don't go yet. Watch the stream, like the stream, and then go and watch the game. You know what I mean? And then I'll do a fan call in, and maybe you can call in and discuss the game. Listen, Ohms, that halftime comes 3-1 down. I know you believe because you're a believer. You knew you had faith. I wasn't sure. But then suddenly Klopp makes those substitutions at halftime. I don't know if you got the substitutions there, the exact like for like, because I think I was slightly late. I think it was about 1 minute late. Talk me through those substitutions. Did you agree with them? And did you think, okay, now we're serious?
Yeah. So I think it was I'll go through them. It was Jota, Milner, and Konate for Kometio, Bradley, and Morton. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%. Thank you very much. Yeah. When I saw those changes, I was watching it with my brother, and he said to me that shows Klopp wants to win this.
But that's the strange bit, Ohms.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
Why did Klopp want to win this?
Suddenly, like, he went mad. Yeah. Like, you could see on the sideline his passion. He was back. So why did this was baffling slightly? But sorry, because I couldn't understand that. But sorry, I'll let you carry on. So yeah,
it's you know what, like. There's a couple reasons it could be. Maybe Klopp underestimated them. Maybe he always wanted to win it. But that crowd was not giving up on the team. Like at 3-1 down. And I don't know. Klopp's the type of manager to say, you know what? That crowd's not giving up. I'm not giving up. And it worked. When I saw those changes and we started the half on fire, I was like, there's goals here. There's goals here. And we just needed that little bit of luck at the end. I don't know who missed the header for Minamino. I won't get onto the goal yet, but yeah, when I saw those changes, I was just thinking, game on, because it could have just fizzled out. Leicester could have won 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, whatever. But yeah, game on, and Carabao Cup on, quadruple on.
Wow, it was Evan. That second half, it starts off at a total different tempo from our point of view. Right. This time it was the Liverpool that we know. This time it was the Liverpool where we pin the motherfuckers in. We don't let the opposition out. And contributing factors were all of the ones that Ohms just mentioned, the 3 substitutions. Milner comes into that midfield. There's a suddenly different bite to that midfield. Konate, I'm going to let you carry on about Konate, man, and Jota as well. Just talk to me about these 3 monsters that came on at halftime.
Okay, so Ibrahima Konate on form is the best under 23 defender in the world
Say
football.
That again. I want to hear more of this shit. Say it again.
Ibrahima Konate
is
on form the best under 23 defender in the world.
100%, my man. 100%. People need to know that. Can everyone like the stream just for that comment? Can you go and fuck off and like the stream? In fact, you don't even need to fuck off. You just need to press like for that comment.
And those of you who always tune into the streams, how many weeks in a row have I been saying this? Grizz, this is my 5th show in a row saying that Ibrahima Konate has not put a foot wrong for Liverpool since he's transferred here. I cannot think of a single moment where he didn't look like a future Virgil van Dijk in development, my Rolls Royce in development. Incredible player. He's an absolute bully. If Gomez looked rusty and not quite fully himself, Ibrahima Konate looked like a version of himself.
That's what Tayyip agrees with you. He was a bully, Evan.
Yeah, absolutely. So many times. And like I said, Gomez, he's rusty, coming back from injury, not himself today. Pretty sure we could all see that. But Konate looked like a version of himself that is still to come. Like his ceiling, I'm not quite sure where it is anymore because it's been blown open by his performances this season. Diogo Jota, if he's not Robbie Fowler's son, then he is now. I mean, he's just an absolutely lethal player. I back him to score from every single angle, anytime he's in the box. And yeah, the substitutions just changed the game. I have to shout out Naby Keita as well. I thought he absolutely changed the way the midfield was playing out.
Stop right there, because so many people want to talk about Naby Keita. But first, I thought I'll give him his separate accolade because those 3 substitutions were made at the same time, right, Ohms or Keith, guys?
Yeah, correct.
That was all at half time.
The Naby Keita one was slightly later for Henderson.
Yeah.
Right. So what happens is it's obviously Keith. It seems like a plan where Henderson's going to play 60 minutes because he's not had a full week of training. He's been ill. Henderson comes off. Ox stays on. Milner's settled the midfield down. And then Naby comes on. And then we have some of the look. You spoke about control in mid and how Leicester couldn't. Suddenly, our midfield with Milner and Keita and Ox were totally in control.
It's Naby season, finally. It's Naby season with a Z. You know what what I love about this man is when he is fit and firing, and you know he did get a bit of slack when he just came back from a month of injury. He's had a few games in his legs now, and he just every time he gave Naby the ball, the whole game just slowed down, which is incredible to think in a game like this that
it was a mental game, and he was
and that he does one nutmeg to I think it's
Madison. I think it's Madison.
Madison. I'm like, yeah. Naby's flowing. Naby's flowing in this game, but he and I thought he also put a little bit of he actually put his foot in a little bit more into this particular game. You know, I think he was kind of harshly criticised for not putting his foot in against Spurs when Ben Davies made that tackle, and some said that he could have gone in as well. I felt when he came onto the pitch here, he actually went in for tackles. He wanted to kind of mark his stamp on this game. And it was the choices of passing. He really doesn't have it all, which is probably the most, just like Oxlade-Chamberlain, one of the most like mind-numbingly frustrating things you could ever think of, because you know that if this guy could do this throughout a season, you know, knock or injury free, there's no telling the levels that he could go on to. It's so funny because even amongst the changes and the madness, there is still a chance for James Maddison, and Kelleher makes a fantastic save to pass it around the post, and they get through, and that was at 3-1. And you know, so that was a big moment in the game because they carved us open again, and he made that chance. And I felt after that chance, I don't think I saw Leicester in our half for much of the second half. It was just absolutely relentless. Another thing about Oxlade-Chamberlain, which I just thought was brilliant, is the fact that he decided to take the game by the scruff of the neck. You know, he didn't hide. You know, he did not hide in that game at all. You know, we're talking about an FA Cup winner. We're talking about Champions League winner. We're talking about Premier League winner. We're talking about a player. He's been in these games, either for Liverpool or for Arsenal. He's gone all the way in domestic tournaments, and he played like a man that wanted to take Liverpool to the League Cup final in a trip to Wembley. So I just got to give him his props there. But, you know, if you also want to have
absolutely. Just very, very quickly, Oscar, you're late, bro. Big up, guys. Klopp selection is baffling. We've gone past that, bro. We've gone past the negatives. We're into the positive section of the show, brother. So, man, we've done all that. Ohms, 3-2. It's a glimpse. I got really excited for 3-2. The reason why we got a glimpse of AFCON strike force. So the ball goes into Bobby. Bobby plays it to Naby. Naby with a first time hook round to Evans guy Jota. What a finish. What a goal. Then we really knew game is fucking on. The crowd went mad. Did you go mad? Did you shove your parents and whoever was next to you out of the way? Or was you still calm and thought, no, I'm still calm?
I was getting there. I knew I was going to go mad at 3-3 because I knew 3-3 was going to happen. That's the thing. I think I just want to touch on Keita first because I just want to touch on him because like this guy, he's 95% there. He's got 5% of a bit of finesse, a bit of fine tuning in the final third, and this guy, like Keith said, his potential is through the roof. Like we're talking top 5, top 3 midfielder in the league because when he gets it all together, the way he's so calm on the ball, he's so good on the ball. He runs it. He takes people on. He picks the right pass. It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, no, at 3-2, what was it? Jota's goal. It's just on Jota again, man. Like he's Robbie Fowler. He's Robbie Fowler's son at the moment. He's clinical. He's getting a bit overshadowed by Salah, but Like, this guy's on for, in all comps, 25, 30 goals. That's ridiculous. Like,
we got Mo looking over his shoulder, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the levels he's at.
We got a new Golden Boot contender. And it's not from anywhere else. It's from in-house. It's from Diogo. And man, just let it continue, because we need him, especially in the AFCON period. We need him, Firmino, Minamino, Origi. We need all of them to just continue, because I don't. Yeah, go on.
No, sorry. Let you finish.
No, that was it. I just if they're on form, I don't care who we play, because it's Liverpool, and like it's just that mentality that we're just gonna dominate games and games and games.
I'm gonna let Evan go on Keita and Jota a bit more. But I'm gonna read this super chat out. Sheets of Metal says, "Do you think Arsenal are the underdogs?" Appreciate the super chat first and foremost. Do you think Arsenal are the underdogs now that we play you in the cup semis? Oh, he's an Arsenal fan. Now that we play you in the cup semis, do you think Arteta will pull some crazy thing like 2 years ago? What did he do 2 years ago?
FA Cup.
Yeah,
I believe he's referring to the FA Cup.
Oh, like you mean like how he won it?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope not, man. Look,
they beat Chelsea in the final, didn't they?
Exactly. So that's where I started loving Arteta. I didn't start loving Arteta for the sake of Arteta and Arsenal. I started loving Arteta because he smashed those Chelsea, people, and I hate them Chelsea people. They are the worst club, the worst fans. Don't like them. If you're in the chat, big up, like the stream, but I don't like your club. But listen, it is what it is. Evan.
Yeah.
Ohms wanted to just talk about Naby, because he's that kind of player. When he plays like that, when he purrs like that, right? He walks into a high intensity game. The game was fucking wild still. And as Keith says, he calmed it down. He slowed it down, but he didn't slow it down to the detriment of Liverpool speed of attacks. He slowed it down so people could get position, and he picked off the passes and kept the ball. The momentum was still flowing, right?
Yeah.
Him and Jota struck a bit of a partnership there, man. I liked that a lot. And even Taki and Bobby, relentless.
Yeah. I think Keith touched on it earlier. Could Bradley and Neco Williams look better in the second half when they're playing with other full-grown men? And I think absolutely Neco benefits from that. All of a sudden, he looks like a Premier League level player, whether that's Liverpool, probably not, but he looks like a guy who deserves to be here. And you can make the same argument for Minamino. Atrocious in the first half, in my opinion, but absolutely looks like a Premier League player in the second half when there's chemistry and there's movement and there's a sense of familiarity. Keith said he thinks Naby has this ability to slow games down, and that's an amazing power to have. I think he has the unique ability to slow everyone else down to his level of athleticism. So my favorite thing is when Keita's being pressured by someone and he looks like the least athletic player on the pitch, but then he just strides by them he shifts the ball to one side and he's clear. It's that amazing Thiago ability. Marco Verratti has it too, where everyone else on the field is faster than them. But if my brain's working 5 seconds ahead of yours, I don't need any type of speed or strength or athleticism to blow by you. So I always love players like that. It's little things like that got me to fall in love with him as a Leipzig player when I spent that summer watching, God, it must have been 50 hours of Keita comps. We all know that one summer. But yeah, so listen, and I also want to say that Keita, when he has played for Liverpool, when he has strung 5 or 6 games together, he's been one of our most consistent players throughout his Liverpool career. I want to dispel this myth that he's never played great for us before. He's always been a great player. We just forget because he'll have 3 or 4 good games in a row and then be injured for 2 months. And that's sort of just been the story of his career. So yeah, always been a player, always been one of our more consistent players. Diogo Jota is a top 5 striker in the world on current form. He's just so lethal, so ambidextrous, backs himself to score from almost any position, and I back him to score from any position. And it's so strange how we have all these, rich people problems of, Firmino played so well today, but it's going to be hard pushing Diogo Jota out of 11. A bit of, my diamond shoes are laced on too tightly. So, yeah, so those are the headaches that Klopp has right now. And, you know, I think I'm going to coin the thing. Diogo Jota is Robbie Fowler's son. We can call him God's son. I'm kind of into that.
Yes.
If everyone else is into God's son, I'm kind of into it. And listen, Minamino. Also, look really quickly before I talk about Minamino really quickly, the quality of our 3 goals today was insane. Like I can't think of another game this season already where every goal we scored was up to a certain quality. I mean, every single goal we scored today was like an 8 out of 10. Ox's goal is a great flowing team move where there's passes and a great layoff. Jota's goal, that weight of pass from Minamino into Jota's, it's so easy to overhit that, to underhit that. Oh man, like Minamino, different player in the second half, and then his goal in the 95th minute, or whatever it was.
Stop. You've had too much limelight on the. You've had Jota first time round. You got 2 shots at praising Jota, so because I know you love him, so I gave you that. All right, you want the cake and you want to fucking eat it. Now listen, Rodney says, because obviously we're live on the stream, so we don't know what the comments are coming back from Klopp and how the reaction is. Someone said about Rodgers, and I totally forgot. Someone said Rodgers said we had Ndidi playing at centre back and we took Liverpool all the way. Like, that is such a fucking Rodgers comment, right? But we won't. But Keith, we won't dwell on that too much and too long. Rodney tells us that Klopp says, I'm really happy with the performance, spirit and mentality. Difficult for us in the first half, had to make changes. Neco can play offensive role, but with Connor in there, it didn't work out that well. It's great when a manager can own up, and when you've got a big manager, we're talking a big boy, comes out, holds his hand up, and it seems as though he's admitting that it didn't work. But boy, did he rectify all of that shit at half time. 3-2. Chance, not like pressure after pressure after pressure. We spoke about the mentality of the players and the nastiness and that needle that we need. Jota has that, doesn't he? Don't you just fucking love that side to him? He was winding up their players, winding up the crowd, their crowd, our crowd. He was just in their faces, and it almost raised everyone else's game and needle around it, didn't it?
Oh, it did. But let's just clarify one point. Thank God the League Cup doesn't have VAR.
Oh,
thank God it doesn't, because you know what? If the referee goes to the monitor to look at that elbow,
do you reckon
the way it looked, it's one of those things where it wasn't what it was, but a slow-mo could make it look like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get that point.
When I watched the replay, I was like, so you're right. He banged that needle. I was kind of happy we didn't have VAR for that. But other than that, he popped up in a lot of positions. I was quite intrigued by the fact that Jota was like popping up on the right, popping up through the center, popping up with these guys were just interchanging at will.
His energy levels were insane.
Incredible. There was one moment, if he had scored that header, we're talking like it's Ferdinand here, mate. I'm telling you this now with his head. Jesus Christ, this guy. That ball by Keita comes in and it looks like Keita's, I don't know if he's trying to shoot or cross or what it is. And he just dives instinctively, and it was probably our best chance of the second half, other than the goals, was that particular header. And he just completely changed the dynamic of the attack. Like, Jota's brought something to Liverpool that I just in a million years couldn't have imagined. There was one other thing I would say off that comment where Klopp said about Neco can be a bit more offensive, but he couldn't play with Bradley. Interesting how much faith Klopp has in Neco Williams. And you know what? Neco Williams is a player that is growing on me every single time I watch him. He is not the most finesse guy in the world, right? He can make mistakes, but you know what? The guy is tenacious as anything. The boy keeps going and going and running at you. And to the point where he was pegging back the poor young lad who came on for Leicester, and he was just trying to do him. And that kind of, when we talk about the relentless pressure, Neco Williams was a part of that in the second half. He deserves his flowers, because on that right-hand side, he had the freedom to say, do you know what? I'm going to go after you. I'm now at right back, so I don't have to worry too much about being in offensive position, which he just doesn't fit the molds. It's Klopp trying to, square pegs and round holes with Neco trying to play him as white. Don't do that. It doesn't fit the system. But as wing back, that's when he started to show his qualities, because he is very good in the offensive situations, and he does deserve his flowers, because again, a game like that for a player doesn't get to play much, is young, can sometimes, consume you almost into mistakes, even if the big dogs come on. And he actually raised his level in that second half. So props to Neco for that second half.
Props to you. Props to you, because none of us, and Evan can and Omar can show off and lie and say that they were going to mention him. I don't think they were. I saw from their facial reactions they weren't going to mention him. I completely forgot about Neco's performance. Please, Holmes, can you talk on Neco's performance? The guy that you forgot about. You didn't mention him. You gave flowers to Naby.
Do you know what?
Evan's been getting fucking psycho about God's son Jota, right? Keith's done Neco justice. I thought, and I'm gonna say this. I thought Neco came of age in that second half. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. His passing, his tenaciousness, his ability to get forward, his bravery. I think it was a brilliant, brilliant performance from Neco Williams, and I think he came of age, guys.
Do you know? I'm gonna try and save this here for myself and Evan. Do you know why we're not bigging up Neco's performance there? It's because he's almost at that stage where he's not a youngster anymore. He's not Trent, but he's in that category alongside people like Minamino, Origi, where you slowly like crawling up on you. You know he's gonna deliver a performance that's gonna satisfy. You know, like he got so much criticism last year and it was so unjust. The year before that, he was the talk of the town. If Connor Bradley put in that performance today, Connor Bradley would be the talk of the town. In a sense, it potentially shows now that one, he's not just come of age, but the fans have realised he's come of age, and the fans are starting to get behind him, and the fans are starting to rely on him. Because I said at half time, as soon as he went back to right back, I was fine with him there. He's not a liability anymore. I agree. He's sort of embodied that mentality monster we always talk about. Klopp always talks about it. He's been there. He was there in the 5-5 against Arsenal. He knows how to get it done now, and I'm just happy for him because this guy. I know there's people calling him Neco Bale on social media,
but that's the extreme of social media, isn't it? There's so many extremes. Like calling him Neco Bale doesn't help the kid, to be honest with you. But today, as you said, from a prototype of a Klopp fullback, Evan, he's attacking, he's brave, he's tenacious. That's what Klopp wants in a fullback, right? Of course, we're not going to suddenly comparing him. Someone said, challenge Trent. No, we're not asking him to. He's not many players in world football are going to be at a level where they challenge Trent. But to be an able deputy in certain games, my God, this kid has won me round, I believe. Have your say on it, bro.
Like it's similar to Kelleher with Allison. I mean, it's a tough act to follow. You know what I mean? You have a guy who's arguably the best in the world at his position, and you have to play second fiddle to that. So we got to give Kelleher and Neco their flowers in their own right of, hey, you've made it to this level and you've stuck around. You've impressed the best coach in the world and you're still here because he trusts you. That in itself is an incredible achievement. And you have to think that both of those guys have at least, even if they decide to leave Liverpool in search of more game time, they have carved out a career for themselves in Europe, top five leagues. So give them their flowers with context. Don't put unnecessary pressure on them. Let's enjoy them for what they are, and let's enjoy them why they're here. Because as we've already talked about in previous shows, the coming to Liverpool knowing you're going to be second choice, that's a tough sell, which is why a signing like Tsimikas is so rare. It's so rare to find players like Neco and Kelleher that are okay to bide their time and wait for their opportunities. So credit to them.
We come to the beautiful fairy tale ending. I'm not sure if Avi's in the background. He did say that when it comes to Taki, if you don't let me on, I'm resigning. I'm handing in my resignation. And so that threat in itself has got me scared. So Avi, you know, the floor is yours, my brother. We come to the 95th minute, I believe, guys. James Milner gets the ball. Does he hit it first time, guys? Like a Henderson type thing?
He chests it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He chests it at the technique. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. What am I talking about? Like, you're literally asking me.
Can we just fast forward because I've only got
Yeah.
2 minutes. I've only got 2 minutes.
Okay. We fast forward to what you just want to talk about. Go for it.
It was a ball from Milner.
Milner, that's what I was talking about.
Misjudged by the defender, wasn't it? Who was at the back for them? Evan, you know.
And Ndidi maybe, or was it
Ndidi.
I think it was Samari or Ndidi. Yeah.
Samari and Ndidi.
Literally chests it, and the technique, Grizz, the technique to get that away. And think about it, the last second of the game to make it 3-3 in front of the Kop. He does it, and that's his. I think he's the leading goal scorer in the Carabao Cup now.
No way.
So, yeah, I think that's his 4th or 5th goal of the tournament. 4 in 4 or 5 in 5. Omer's quickly doing a Google check because he wants to expose me if it's not true. But you can quickly check.
Happily, I'll do that.
I think it is. I think he is the top scorer. But what a goal, Grizz! I'm so happy for the guy. And he got the assist, the little deft touch for Jota's goal. Like,
spoke about that, yeah.
He's like, come on, what a touch! And it was a great goal. The greatest Japanese to grace the game of English football. We've seen a few in our in the last sort of 20 years, but he is the greatest. He's above Kagawa. He's ahead of Junichi Inamoto, Yoshida, that Thomas the Tank Engine fella at Arsenal. He's ahead, mate. He's clear. He's absolutely fucking clear. But yeah, that's my 2-minute segment. Cameo, I'm done. Horgia, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. Okay, bye.
Nice one. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Look, we had to give Avi his tacky flowers, man. Sorry, go on.
Eddie Nketiah is actually the top scorer. So sorry, Avi.
Oh,
No,
that's why
you got your facts wrong.
That's where he ran off. That's why he ran off as soon as you said that.
He knew I was coming for him.
Oh shit! But listen, he's right though. Look, it couldn't have that. I couldn't think of a nicer guy. And when I say nice, I think I'm underplaying his mental strength. Another one who's been facing the brunt of criticism from certain quarters. That finish, running into the Kop, we could so get used to this, couldn't we? Because again, he's another one that could step into this void of the AFCON players and really enhance his name, his stay, his reputation.
Yeah, like Keller, he's made his name in the Cup. I think he scored 5 goals in 9 games this season. That's a half decent record, that, if you ask me. So yeah, he's always had it. We've seen him have it. I think we saw him at Salzburg tear it up against us at Anfield. We've seen what this guy's on about. He came at such a difficult time. He came halfway.
People forget that.
Yeah, and then he had COVID. Like it was hard, but when he's played this season, he's fit in and he's young. He's I don't know, 25, 26, whatever. But we can't expect every forward to be Salah, to be Jota, hit the ground running. It's like you can't expect every youngster to be Trent or Elliott. But what you get off players like Minamino, players like Williams, you get a very good shift, and you get very good output and very good contribution, because not everybody's a world beater, but you need a squad of good players. And I guarantee you now, there's more people happy with our squad now than they were at the start of the season. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Listen, we speak about squad depth and Keith. Credit to Goalmouth for increasing the vocabulary of the show from Grizz and Avi standards. Show's gone from Daily Star to Prime Guardian. I guess I have to say thank you. Thank you for that comment. Even though you're slating the shit out of my vocabulary, and Avi's okay, fairly as well. But appreciate the comment nevertheless. Evan, 3-3, penalty shootout. I tweeted Kelleher, I don't think has had the best game. Sort it out, son. We go into that. We don't get the kickoff towards the Kop. It doesn't make a difference. It was kind of just destiny right at that stage. You feel as though it's bubbling towards us, right?
Yeah, and Guys, are you with me in the sense that you didn't know there's 2 coin flips? One for who kicks first and one for whichever side?
I did.
Is that how it is in all competitions? Chat, let me know. Chat, am I insane?
I knew that. I knew
Okay.
that. But I
Okay.
don't know. But yeah, so yeah, go on.
Really, yeah. So, but yeah, the omens are there, and Grizz, we almost had the perfect fairy tale, but Russia blood to the head from Minamino, but luckily his teammates had his back, and we bailed him out because his second half performance deserved a bailout, and we bailed him out. And shout out to Kelleher because there was some great penalties that were taken today.
Was.
The first one he saved from the young guy Luke Thomas, that's not even a bad penalty. That it's in the corner, but Kelleher just jumps early. So yeah, he must have heard you, Grizz, because he really stepped up. And it's nice to see him come out of his shell a bit and celebrate because he's a bit of a reserved character.
Spot on, Evan. That's exactly what I love about this kid. Not only him, like Ohms talking about Neco, like we're talking about the other guys, all the guys that have this mentality within them now. It's not just the big boys. It's the big boys have had the influence on these kids, and these kids are showing it again and again. And Kelleher probably, Keith, knew, someone said in the chat, the standards he set himself already in a short space of time, probably knew he could have done better for at least one of the goals. But to show that mental strength and stand up, not even in the Cup, in the back, in the away end, right? Behind sort of away fans behind you. He's kept his calm, and he just, while Schmeichel was making all kind of his, drama and acting and trying to put, Kelleher didn't try to put no one off. He just focused and he pulled through. And again, it shows to me the mentality of this kid, right?
And some of the penalties were incredible. Some of these top bins, like James Maddison's penalty was brilliant. Tielemans' great penalty, Milner's penalty was brilliant. Everyone was just, I thought it was going to be one of those games where it was going to be like, sudden death. And in sudden death, you got like everyone keeps just scoring and scoring until we get to the goalkeepers. That's how good I thought the penalties were. And I actually, if there are any Leicester people in the chat, I would like to know how you feel about the fact that you sent your young boy to take a penalty in that part of the shootout. For me,
awful decision from Rodgers again, you think?
100%. You got big players there. Jamie Vardy didn't come up to take none of the 5 penalties. I don't believe.
that shocked me. He was
really?
still on, right?
He was still on, wasn't he?
Still on, even when Ryan Bertrand went up for the decide, it just baffled me. I mean, there's bottling it, and then there's just taking, the milkman. I was just saying, it's absolutely ridiculous. And you got to think, as a goalkeeper, you these goals are just going in here, boom, boom, boom. Not only the crowd, but obviously confidence-wise, surely a piece of you might think, damn, man, am I going to save a penalty today? Or am I going to have to hope to someone hit the bar like Minamino did? Right?
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're not singing anymore.
Okurwa Alexander sends a super chat and he says, you're not singing anymore. And the crowd stayed till the end with us. We've got a brilliant chat from Toffee Blues. As a lifelong Liverpool fan, I've had enough. To go. That is class. That is brilliant.
I mean, we need to start asking questions, man, of who we want to be in goal for penalties. Should penalty does Klopp do a Van Gaal one day? I don't know.
Because Alisson, you're right. Alisson hasn't got a good record.
Nah.
Alisson's not that kind of keeper. We all know that Alisson likes to come off his line. If Alisson could rush off his line, he'd be brilliant at saving pens. But Kelleher, he's a better goalkeeper in terms of his reflexes on his line. On his line, I think his reflexes are not as, obviously Alisson, I can't disagree, but what I'm trying to say is he is better suited to penalties because I feel like his goalkeeping style is better suited to penalties. He's better on his line making those type of reaction saves. So he's built now a reputation as a penalty stopping keeper. That's adding another 10 M's.
Guys, be honest, right? Be honest now, guys. Be honest, because a couple of people have made a few good shouts. Out of our penalty takers, who was you the most worried about, Ohms?
Oh, who? I don't know why. Firmino
Mine was
always,
yeah.
Firmino always gives you the jitters. I don't know why. And then he started doing this. He started stopping. I was like,
Yeah, he was doing that.
because he's too relaxed. I think Firmino's in his head. He's just like, I'm gonna hit the ball, and yeah, you know, it goes in. I miss. He's that type of guy. But yeah, I don't know. I was probably, I don't know why. I backed Minamino to score, so that says how much I know. But the one I was confident on, apart from Milner's not going to miss.
Oh, Milner's Mr. James Bond, man.
Yeah.
In those situations, man. Always gets the job done.
Yeah. I think Keita I was confident on because he just oozed confidence the whole game, and he stuck it top corner. I was like, penalty of the night.
Evan, I'm not gonna lie. I was the most worried about Keita. I swear, I don't know what it was. Right, I'm the opposite of Omar. Right? I was worried about Bobby. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think because no Mo, no Mane, you know, no Van Dijk who would have taken a penalty, no Henderson who takes penalties. Right? Who else was there? Curtis Jones takes penalties.
Fabinho, Trent.
Fabinho takes penalties. Trent takes penalties.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So I was thinking, Naby. Bobby, I was nervous in the penalty shootout. I knew Kelleher would pull off a few, but was you cool and calm? And did you have confidence? I didn't.
I mean, listen. Anytime a Liverpool player goes up to take a penalty and they do that stupid, I'm gonna stop halfway through the run up shit, I'm just like, fuck you, man. Just shoot. my heart can't take this. Like, just shoot.
It was taking forever.
He's taking forever. I could have used the bathroom and came back.
I did. I actually went to the bathroom.
Listen. But the one I was the most nervous for was Takumi Minamino, because I'm like, oh, the script is too perfect. It's too perfect. And I guess I manifested too much of my fear into the universe, and I got into his head a bit, and he hit it a little too hard. But yeah, I guess the rational choice is Firmino. But in actuality, my heart was beating the most for Minamino. But yeah, I would say that's
it was.
I turned my back on the Minamino one.
Did you?
Yeah. I watched all the penalties, and the Minamino one, I literally turned around and put my head in my shirt, and I asked the missus, I was like, let me know what happened. Yeah, turn the volume off. I was just like, tell me. And she just goes, oh no. And I was like, so when the final one came up for, who scored the winning?
Jota, of course.
Jota, yeah.
I was like, no, I have to watch this now. Now I've just given us bad luck. I'm not going to turn away. But Taki was the one for me that assist, goal. If he had just scored the winner, it would have been Taki.
Oh, as Evan says, that was the perfect script. What's on my mind?
You would have stripped if they.
I would have made Avi strip. Oh, Avi would have stripped. Oh yeah.
He probably did.
He would have done this show naked, man. We would have had the Avi naked show. Like, you know, he 100% would have. Yeah.
That's why he had to go off, man. He's got a meeting with HR.
I'm telling you, man, that would have been too good. That would have been too perfect. But listen, it had to be ice cold. I don't even want to go. I have to go back to Evan for Jota. Of course, natural, right? He had to be the ice cold killer at the end. And you know, his celebration, I loved it. Everything about it. Yeah, man, he was mad. Went up to them, their players, even the equalizer guys. Did you see how he went up to the players in their faces for wasting time and probably I don't know what else for? That was cold.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, of course, all the rolling around, the time wasting. There was a bit of pushing and shoving. There was some flare-ups. So it was personal between the players, but the celebration in front of the fans. And listen, I've been supporting Liverpool long enough to know when I can hear the "Feed the Scousers" chants coming in through the TV. So it's absolutely a not so great thing to sing about. So yeah, give it to those fans if they want to take it there. If they want to make it personal, we'll make it personal with our celebrations. Guys, I got slated.
All right, this nasty side to Evan.
I got slated for my lack of a nasty side. I'm here.
Give it, Evan. Go on, Evan.
Only the Carabao Cup can do this.
Only the
Carabao Cup. Only the
Evan
Carabao Cup.
Evan wants us to be nasty. Come on, Evan.
Yeah, you know, hey. Hey, no,
Brilliant.
listen. The chat demanded more of me earlier this week, so here I am, chat. I showed up for you.
People were saying Evan's gone soft. We want to get nasty. And look what Jota's done to him. One man has done this to him. He's turned him into a wrecking machine. He wants to wreck the crowd, the players, the referee, everything. But Omar, that celebration at the end was brilliant. The young players again going round with the Klopp hugs in front of the Kop. This is what builds champions' mentalities. Look, I know we haven't even reached the final, but even getting this far with the kids, Kevin has come of age tonight. This is it, man. I didn't even put this up. Avi's doing this in the background. But this is even, look, this may end up as far as the semi-finals, but it's been some run. And the way we've come back from adversity and the situations we've found ourselves in, against, as we said, a fully strength team, this only bodes well for the future, because even the guys at home will be proud of them, right? The big boys, the big dogs will be watching that, coming to training all these guys tomorrow. It will lift them, won't it?
Right, Salah and Mane was sat in bed all day, just having an entertaining watch.
Interesting to see if they come out with anything on the Insta and tweets.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
anybody
yeah.
knows anything in the chat, if they've come out with anything, let us know.
I think
yeah.
Van Dijk did a tweet, basically bigging up Kelleher, which was
Nice.
what Van Dijk does. So it's a unit. It's a unit. The team, the squad, the morale is all up. It feels like the good old days. It feels like the 18-19 season, the 19-20 season, where everyone's fit, everyone's firing, and you just feel invincible. You just got that Liverpool invincibility. I'm not worried. Like, you want Salah and Mane and Keita around in January, but they're going to AFCON. But fine, bring it on. Klopp will tell them, bring it on. Teams will think they got a sniff at us. Bring it on. We'll turn you apart. So I'm
it's
pumped.
true. It's true. You mentioned, like, you know, how many players? There was 10 players, guys, that were not available today through injury, suspension, or COVID. You know, and then on top of that, he rested Sadio, Mo. Who else did he rest? You know, them two. Like, that's Trent. That's 13 players. That's 14 players that weren't in the squad. So 10 through injury and 4, I think I've mentioned there, through choice. Like, that's a pretty deep squad to me, Evan. Like, when people want deep squads, like, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah.
Evan, like, if that's not a deep squad, show me a deep squad, man.
Yeah, and to the people who are saying Klopp doesn't want to win the game, like what more do you want from him? The squad's deep when it's deep, and I know that sounds like a stupid, redundant thing to say, but that's
yeah. Can you explain that, because people will call you Avi if you carry on with this?
Yeah, you know, I don't want to have that bench here. So the squad's deep when it's deep. Listen, when people are fit and we're full strength, the squad is deep enough, in my opinion, to go deep in the competitions we care about going deep in. That being said, you know, the questions over the fitness consistencies of certain players in the squad, that's totally fair. But on paper, I like our options off the bench. Guys, we've spent so much of the last 3 or 4 years riding our luck in terms of options off the bench. We brought Adam Lallana on to play right wing in a Champions League final after playing like 100 minutes that season. Do you guys forget how bad it used to be? We ran out of players in 17-18. As soon as Ox went down with that ACL, we ran out of players. So I'm looking back at how it used to be, and I look back at it now, what our bench looks like on a day where we're mostly fully fit. It's a night and day difference. Absolutely a night and day difference. People are pointing out Harvey Elliott's coming back. Like right around, you know, January, February, when we're going to be getting hit hard with AFCON. It's going to get better. You know, players are going to come back. You know, I'm manifesting a little Harvey Elliott, you know, winning goal in the League Cup final. You know, I'm here for it. I'm going to start to care about it, guys. It's all
oh, man. This is the tough questions now. They're going to come in, not only for the manager. You know, what do we do, Keith? What do you want to do, man? Do you want to go strong in both legs? What do you want to do? This is semi-final. We ain't been Wembley in ages, since his first season. Remember, guys, in the League Cup. This could be the full circle, if you know what I mean. Like he got to the League Cup final. so close in the league, so close in the Champions League. We won the Champions League, we won the Premier League. I know the League Cup is the least of his priorities, but there's some bit of romance there, right? To go strong. What do you think? What do you do?
There is, obviously, I've took pelters at the beginning of the season when I spoke about how good this squad is, and how deep this squad is, and how we've done so well to put such a good collective group of players together that can go and fight for more than 2 trophies. I actually believe that the teams we've been putting out in the League Cup have been probably the best teams we've ever put as a kind of like a second 11 that we've ever put out under Jurgen Klopp, because it has all the mechanics of that solid centre-back partnerships of your Konate, your Gomez, Neco Williams, Shimikas. That back 4 alone could start Premier League games, right? Then you're looking at your midfield options where, we've been playing for the majority of the time. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's been playing in these games. James Milner's been playing in these games. Minamino's been slotted into those positions. You've had Jota, you've had Divock Origi. So you've got a lot of players who have got us this far. And in a way, barring today, I would have thought we would actually probably would have walked that game if we had put our first Carabao.
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
Our Carabao Cup 11, in my opinion, deserves the opportunity to go to the final. So, as much as, I'd romanticizing, okay, now we bring in Salah, now we bring in Mane, now we bring in Thiago, Fabinho. Perhaps the only player that I would bring in that hasn't really played these games is Fabinho. That is the only player I would bring into that one. Other than that, I think these boys have earned the right to play both legs and to bring that League Cup home. And I think this is the best opportunity to win the League Cup. Come the final, you're not keeping Mo Salah out of that.
Exactly.
That's the talking point.
You're not keeping them. They're banging down that door for the final, 110%. But you know what? This is without shadow of a doubt the strongest squad I have ever seen as a Liverpool fan. Period.
I've said it from the start of the season, and I'm sticking to it adamant. People gave me pelters. People abused other people that said it. But listen, I think it's fair to say who's laughing now. Dinesh with a super chat says Liverpool should play strong team against Arsenal Carabao Cup first leg, then play FA Cup that weekend. Play a semi-strong.
That's a good point.
Go on then, Gnomes. Is that how you would? So have we got the first leg and then we've got an FA Cup?
Because it's Shrewsbury at home. So if that's the case, we go League Cup, leg 1, FA Cup, leg 2. It's almost telling Klopp, go hard in the first game. Is that
confirmed, guys? So we've got the first leg of the League Cup, and then we've got FA Cup, Shrewsbury at home, and then we go straight into the second leg? Because if that's the case, that makes sense, right?
That is the case, yeah. It is the case.
Yeah, that's exactly the case.
Wow.
So it's the EFL Cup on January the 4th at Emirates. 9th of Jan, Shrewsbury at home. 11th of Jan, Liverpool Arsenal second leg at home.
Evan, that kind of just makes up probably Klopp's mind. Would you say?
Yeah, it's got to play on his mind a little bit, definitely. I mean, these guys, I think they analyze things like scheduling and the nuance of how the games, the order, I should say, of the games, the nuance there. They analyze this at a microscopic level. So it's got to be there. They got to think about everything.
Ayan says first leg.
Hey, Keith's muted. Keith's muted.
You're muted.
You're muted. Let's go.
Oh my God.
Oh, man,
He's done it again.
What Ayan said is true, right? We got Chelsea on Sunday, and then we go to the Emirates on Tuesday. There's 2 days.
Oh, shit. That changes it completely again.
Klopp just filled up his January schedule. Nice.
Yeah. Wait, surely. Oh, you can't do that, surely.
So that changes the whole dynamic again, people.
Surely
because there's no way we go full strength Sunday and then the same guys go full strength Tuesday. If it was Wednesday, yes.
Mm-hmm. Sky Sports are evil.
I think we probably go with like a FA Cup team, like you said. Like, look, let's assume our full strength is with what we know. So we go Virgil, Matip, stroke Konate. Robertson's back. Just top of our head, guys. Trent comes back. We got Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago against Chelsea. Jota, Mane, Salah. Salah, his last game before he goes to the AFCON, right? We have to bear in mind that's going to be our first choice lineup. We can change it around, right, in the second leg. We can go Neco, we can go Tsimikas, we can go Konate, we can go Gomez. We can't go Naby.
Milner,
because Naby goes to the AFCON.
Yeah. But look, I think
Jones is back. Curtis Jones coming.
I was gonna say I think we still have room to maneuver, I should say, in midfield.
Hey, he's done an Avi one. This is spreading. This is spreading. Maneuver to room. We have maneuver to room, people. Yes. The effect of Avi is in the house. We have maneuver to room. Carry on, sir.
It's a disease. That's what it is. It's the other pandemic, as I call it.
The Avidemic.
The epidemic. Yeah, that's the one. The epidemic. We're gonna get it.
There's other options we can go with there, because we have midfielders coming back, and we've already touched upon whoever's in that other midfield slot other than Thiago, Fabinho. It's looking pretty interchangeable. You know what I mean? So, I think there's plenty of options, assuming that players come back when they're scheduled to come back, and we don't lose anybody else. I think we have room to maneuver.
We absolutely did, because we've literally picked. I think we've actually picked the first leg team. So I think it's going to be Tsimikas, Williams, Konate, Gomez, Milner, Ox, Jones, and then you got Jota, Bobby, Taki.
You got Origi probably coming back as well.
Oh, we done all this shit today without Lord Divock, people.
Yeah.
And people want depth. People are asking for depth. We done all this shit without Lord Divock, because that game was set up for Lord Divock in the second half.
At 80 minutes, I was thinking, I wish we had Origi on the bench.
That was his moment, right?
Yeah. Oh,
my God, I think Elliot as well. People are making up. Yeah, Elliot won't probably make it that early. I think he starts training in the next couple of weeks, full team training. So let's just give him plenty of time and come back when he's ready. But I actually think, guys, we've picked two brilliant teams that can probably go out and do the jobs in their respective games that they're selected for. But lads, we could talk about this evening and carry on, but we got to come to an end, come to a halt. We got to get to a man of the match. This is going to be hard. This is going to be tough. Holmes needs time because he's scratching his head.
I need a lot of time here.
I'm going to come to Evan first, because he's normally got something in his mind and he doesn't get swayed easily. But today he may get swayed because he's been swayed on a few shit today. Honorable mention, because there's so many.
Okay.
And then give it to one.
Okay. Honorable mention has to go to Konate. I want my man of the match. I want someone who has played more than 45 minutes. I just think in the interest of fairness. So Konate is my honorable mention for shoring up the defense, making sure that we weren't constantly looking like we were about to leak a goal. My man of the match.
Easy. Go on, say it. I'll tell you what, after 3, let's see if I can read you. After 3, you got to say it. Don't start changing your mind now.
I have it down to 2 names for my.
Okay, say the one that came in your mind first. 1, 2. I said after 3.
Oh,
fuck's sake, you spoiled it again.
It's the delay.
The avidemic, man. It's spreading. I thought you're gonna give it to Jota.
Listen, I only didn't give it to either one of Konate or Jota because they're substitutes. Not that should disqualify you, but I wanted to give it to someone who played 90 minutes. So
he's called Godson. You like, he can do whatever he wants.
Okay. So. I'm still giving it to Keller. Fair
play. Go mouth.
So honorable mention has to go to Minamino. You know,
honorable mention has to go to Mino. So you're buying him a mansion, yeah?
My honorable main man, you know, the Scout Samurai. You know, he got the assist, brilliant assist on the volley, brilliant goal to win it, to take us to penalties. But my man of the match is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. What a
Hipster choice.
performance. What a performance.
Non-stop.
I thought he was just relentless from start to finish, and he played like a captain tonight. He was a captain's performance from one of our senior players.
Shout.
Great finish. He may have lost it if we lost 3-2, but after that shot that he took in the 89th minute, which I was just thinking, you got like 5 people in front of you, pass it, but he can have the benefit of the doubt for that one. Shout out to the Ox. I'm loving the comeback.
Ohms, over to you. I think we've got 2 different.
Yeah.
So we got Kelleher, we got Ox. Go on. Honorable mention first.
Honorable mention. So I'm similar because I want to give it to someone that's the man of the match, to someone that's played, not just 45. So, it's so hard. Because any of the blokes that have come on did well. I'll give an honorable mention to Naby. I thought he's beautiful. And then man, I'm gonna make it 2-1 to someone, and it's gonna be 2-1 Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, because he played like a. I'm not saying he is, but he probably. I think at 2-0 he channeled the spirit of Steven Gerrard there, and was like, I'm in the middle of Liverpool's midfield. We're 2-0 down. I'm gonna take over. And what did he do? He took over. He drove the team relentlessly forward, and give him his kudos, man. Like, he's been brilliant, and I don't think we talk about it enough. He's been fit all season.
Yeah.
Touch wood. So yeah, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain for me.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Listen, I kind of agree with you in terms of, do you know how many times we've said we want Naby or Ox to take lead of a game, like a Henderson, Fabinho does, like a Thiago has, and I think those 2 guys did. I think Keita done it for 45 minutes. I think Ox done it for 90 minutes. Guys, we're going to leave on this comment. Mohit says, Justin, Klopp said, if I'd known how good this club is, how much we mean to each other, I'd have come here much earlier. Jürgen,
Don't say that to me.
Jürgen, this is it, man. This is what makes us love this club, man. We felt it before you. That's quite bad, man. You should have felt it, man, and you should have come here early, man. We miss you. We love you. We hope you sign a contract extension if there's any way possible. We hope you bring us a trophy this season after all the drama and the glory we're seeing and a couple of setbacks. This team's onto something, man, guys, like it was in 1920. And then the catastrophe and the personal trauma and drama of last season. We come back strong, man. Keith's talked about the revenge tour, the revenge season. It's on its course, man. We keep going. We go on to Leeds. Wow, it just doesn't stop, does it? We've got a Leeds game at Anfield on Sunday. We'll be back for that. We'll do a pre-match something before that. We need a couple of days break, I think, after that, man. We need a break because that was something special. But guys, I hope Avi's in the background. Avi, can you give me a hello if you're in the background to do the outro, or I'll do it myself? Yeah, Avi's in the background. My man's in the background. This has been the post-match to a monumental game at Anfield. Once again, under the lights. We are into the semi-finals. Bring on your Arsenals. Bring on your other London trash who we're going to play in the final. And we'll sort you guys out. Over and out. Peace.